Welcome back to another episode of 20 Questions. Today, I have another fellow judge from Sugar Showdown, Zane Caplansky, and he is the Duke of Delhi.
Yo! 20 Questions is legendary. We used to play this game on our car trips when I was a kid. Wherever we go anywhere, 20 Questions.
Don't sleep on 20 Questions. It's a fun game. You learn a lot about people. Without further ado, first question. Why did you become a chef?
I actually don't consider myself or call myself a chef. To me, a chef is somebody who has gone through the training and written an exam. While I know that's a whole lot more than that. I was an apprentice. I did go through all the aspects of it. I prefer to think of myself as a really good cook. I think the deeper question is, this is what I was born to do. When I was a little boy, this is what was in my heart.
Question number 2. What did you want to be growing up? And it was obviously someone who had to do with food.
You want to be grow up? I'd say I want to own a restaurant.
You're living your dream.
That's it.
Have you ever thought about starting over?
In fact, I did. So at 40 years old, I reinvented myself as Caplansky. Started life as Zane Caplansky. I refound that childhood dream of owning a restaurant, and my identity is a deli man.
Who is your favorite cartoon character? Now, before you answer this, it can be from a comic book, it could be from an animated series, it could be a mutant, like an X-Men, for example. Who is your favorite cartoon character?
I have a very soft spot for Wolverine. There's something about the indestructible nature of what he does, the way that he heals from all of his injuries, and that claw thing. Love it.
Age slow, heal fast.
That and Bugs Bunny.
What's the dumbest thing that you ever made?
Gefilte fish, because it made my girlfriend's apartment stink for a month, and she never let me forget it.
For all of you that don't know what gefilte fish is, I call it the hot dog of the sea. It's a lot of different fishes blended up into sort of like a casing, I guess you could say. What's the dumbest thing you've ever eaten?
This is my third season of judging. Eating 9 donuts a day on Donut Showdown is probably the dumbest thing I ever did. Getting paid to eat donuts? Come on.
Can't go wrong. The only other profession where you get paid to eat donuts is law enforcement.
That's right.
What's one food that you want to try?
That's a tough question. I went to Japan a year and a half ago with a list of food I really wanted to try, and I think I got to 23 to 25 on the list.
What's one thing you never want to eat again?
So I'm a huge not fan of fermented, like a bean. It's like a slimy bean. It's awful. It's really, the flavor, the texture, the whole thing is bad.
Unless it's alcohol, I'm not down with anything fermented.
They call it natto.
Natto bean? Is that what it's called? A natto?
Fermented, N-A-T-T-O, fermented soybeans. Terrible.
Who's your favorite musician?
I'd say Neil Young.
Spell kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. K-A-L-E-I-D-A-S-C-O-P-E.
I have no idea. What's your guilty pleasure?
Kraft dinner.
I love craft dinner.
I usually make 2 boxes at once. I make a big bowl and I sit there in my shame and eat it.
Who is your guilty pleasure?
I'm a huge Heather Graham fan. From Roller Girl.
I was going to say Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
What food are you scared of making?
I'm kind of fearless when it comes to making stuff, and I suffered from a childhood baking trauma. 6 years old, and I confused salt and sugar. Beautiful brownie. My brothers took it around to all of the kids in the townhouse complex. Here, try this thing that Zane made. Taste it, and it's the worst thing you've ever put in your mouth. Totally humiliated me. Can we keep this to ourselves?
Yeah, we won't tell anybody. So an alien comes down from outer space, doesn't matter the planet. What do you feed them?
Pizza.
What's your favorite animal?
Bear.
Have you ever eaten bear?
Not that I'm aware of.
What are you scared of?
I've gotten over most of my fear of failure, having failed in it so many times in my life. Truly, I'm probably afraid of not reaching my potential. What drives me is the desire to be the best that I can be.
How many underwater somersaults do you think you could do?
In one breath?
Yeah.
47.
What? Wow.
Maybe 14.
Wine, spirits, or beer?
Do I have to choose?
Yes.
So the answer is yes, in that order. I'll take wine and then spirits and then beer. It's like your children, which one do you love the most?
What's your favorite car?
60s Porsche Roadster. The shape of that car is among the most beautiful of all time.
Sing the first lyric that comes to mind.
Going off the rails on a crazy train.
That's been 20 Questions with my buddy Zane Caplansky. You can follow him on Instagram and Twitter
At Caplansky.
Tune in again next week or whenever I put this up next. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mother, tell your father, tell anyone else you want. That's it.
High five.
Awesome, man.